to close the gap access, shorten referral distances, and finally bring quality healthcare closer to communities. But this was a very bold vision, and the rollout was equally very dramatic. Everybody's expectation was very high. But months turned into years, the momentum slowed. Construction sites that once buzzed with activity, it grew very, very quiet. And then later, audit revealed a troubling pattern. Contractors paid to mobilize, but failing to deliver. Intensified when successive verifications led to the suspension of hundreds of millions of cedis in payments. Pending proof of work done, then came the reality check. Despite public ceremonies and political assurances, health authorities clarified that none of the hospitals, none of the Agenda 111 hospitals were fully operational. Some buildings may exist, but none of the hospitals is fully operational. Some of the buildings lack staff, equipment, and essential services to see patients. And then came yesterday, a turning point if you like. The Auditor General dropped a hammer, surcharging 35 contractors to refund about $7.9 million. And these are monies collected without corresponding work. It was a moment of accountability, one that confirmed long-held public concerns that Agenda 111 had drifted from an infrastructure mission into an audit headache. So today, as we speak, the Agenda 111 project is standing at a crossroad. Powerful idea, but slowed by execution gaps, oversight failures, and funding constraints. Now under renewed scrutiny as government attempts to separate real progress from the painted walls and the signboards. Conversation this morning with Dr. Thomas Anaba. He's MP for Garu and a member of Parliament's Health Committee. Doc, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning to you, to your listeners and viewers, if any, and then greetings to the good people of Garu.
Nice. We're live on social media, so I'm sure they're watching you.
Right, thank you very much.
Happy New Year. How's your year been so far? 2026, how's it been for you?
It's okay, by the grace of God. Yeah, you know, as MPs, we run from office to office trying to see how we can help bring about development to our communities. So I'm in Accra immediately after the new year. Nice. I've been in Accra hopping from one institution to the other.
The job is not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, but that is it. It's a social service.
Nice.
Right.
The idea people have of the work of a member of parliament, they think it's very simple. Is that the case?
It's not simple.
Demanding.
I also thought same, but after I stepped foot in, I realized that it demands more time, more commitment, and more perseverance, or else you give up very early. Yes. So if you are an MP, if you know an MP, part is back for continuing to be an MP. It's not easy at all.
It's a tough job.
You become let me say, a servant of everybody. Everybody believes that you are the solution. You are the magic for everything.
When you may even need help yourself.
Yes, sometimes you need help yourself.
Charlie.
And they don't understand it. But what for do? We are all in for that. Somebody must at least take the responsibility to be an MP. Yes. So once we go, some other person would come. So necessarily, we must have MPs in the country all the time.
And you also serve on the Health Committee of Parliament.
Yeah.
How is working on the committee like?
Oh, it's very interesting. Our main duty is oversight responsibility,
right,
and formulation policies in Parliament to help pass laws that has something to do with health. At least we've been able to go around the country to inspect certain health facilities that we pick randomly to either motivate them or encourage them or draw their attention to certain things, We've looked at their finances, their books, to see whether they are spending their money accurately
properly,
or not. It's been a good experience. I've met with people from diverse areas in the committee. Some are tax specialists, some are accountants, some are doctors, some are social scientists. We come together and we are able to learn from each other about how to make the health sector at least look more attractive and rewarding and serving the needs of our people. So it's been a good committee to belong to.
In your oversight responsibilities on the health committee, what has been the assessment of the Agenda 111 project so far?
So far, the assessment we've not sat down like this to say, this is the assessment that we are giving to it and give it a mark. But generally, the issue of the Agenda 111 has come to us regarding what they are going to do with them. And we as a group think that it was a good project, overly ambitious, as stated by the then president. He himself said it, overly ambitious. And we all agree that it was overly ambitious. I think the early days when he came out with the plan to build the Agenda 111 facilities, I think I was interviewed by this studio and I told them that it was not going to be possible to execute it the way he wants to do it. Perhaps they
all together at the same time.
They must do it in stages. And even if he's able to find money to do it, the buildings may become white elephants. They wouldn't serve the purpose. They wouldn't be functional district hospitals.
Right.
Because they may not be run by the requisite staff in the hospitals. Because you need some category of professionals to run a district hospital. And if you check from the human resource data we have in Ghana, you could realize that building 101 health facilities, you were not going to get doctors to man them, enough doctors, enough laboratory technicians.
Right.
For nurses, we could get, because they are a lot. We
have them in a huge number.
Huge numbers, and some of them are even at home without work, and then the rest, we could do something with them. But the doctors and the other professionals, like the radiologists, like the lab scientists, and then the rest, were not enough to be able to run those facilities in the 18 months the president promised he was going to put up the hospitals. That was my worry. And it has come to pass that even they themselves, in the middle of 2024, decided to halt some of the projects. They themselves, about 15 of them.
Yeah.
They realized that it was really overly ambitious. Not that it is not good. I would always emphasize that to have such facilities in all the hospitals, it would have really given access to the general public and shorten the distance they travel to go to hospitals, shorten the time, the turnaround time when they go to hospitals, because all the needed facilities for a real district hospitals were captured in it. So the committee in general think that, yes, we should continue. That's the notion we all have. We should continue with it, but at a pace that at least financially
gives you some room.
Gives government some room, and also give time for doctors, the professionals and the staff that are needed to run those hospitals to be formed or to be hired. In that way, we're able to really have a functional district hospital. I can cite an example of a hospital that was built and as at now is not functioning because of lack of staff to run it.
So it's part of the Agenda 111 project?
It's not part. It was the Tolong Hospital.
Okay.
I mentioned Tolong because I'm very fond of Tolong and I have very good friends there. And when they were building the hospital, I was happy they were putting it up under the MPP. As at now, it's not functioning.
So the building is there.
Yes.
It has the equipment.
Yes, it has the equipment. But you see, it is nurses who are doing basic nursing things. And that cannot be called a district hospital.
True.
A district hospital must have some group of staff, specialized cadres to take care of the patients. One, generally, Ghana Health Service requirement, you must have a pediatrician.
Okay.
At least one. You must have an ophthalmologist. You must have an internal medicine specialist. You must have an emergency doctor. You must have a gynecologist. You must have a public health specialist. You must have lab technologists. You must have radiologists. These are the basic requirements to say that this hospital
is a district hospital.
Even some of our current district hospitals lack some of these professionals, but at least the core basic professionals Specialist doctors are there. At least a pediatrician, not all of them may have, but you may have people attending to pediatric cases and then the rest. For gynecologists, they are there in almost all the district hospitals that are in existence. So we're thinking that government should have hastened slowly and see where you put the hospital that really the distance between the referral hospitals to their centers, to their district, are really very far. Then with the little we have, then we can build them. I can quote Bright Simmons, who said that, look, there wasn't budgetary allocation for some of these things. Besides that, we didn't know which agency was responsible, because the Ministry of Health itself was not responsible for the construction of this. And the strategy they were rolling out was not well informed. Even though it was a political promise they made, not because of COVID. You said that because of COVID, they were building hospitals. It's not because of COVID. 2016 manifesto of NPP, it is there.
It was mentioned.
That they were going to build district hospitals in all districts with our hospitals. Likewise, that of NDC. NDC said we were going to build it progressively.
Yes.
But they said they were going to build hospitals in all districts with our hospitals. In 2020, before even the COVID, it was again in their manifesto. Then COVID came, and the president ambitiously came to promise Ghanaians that he was going to start it and execute it in 18 months, which we found not to be possible. At long last, we have been exonerated that, look, you can't do that in the country. You can't just go and put up facilities for something when you don't have people to run it. Why don't you build airports in all the regions? Because you don't have the planes to land there.
True.
You don't have the planes to land there. So you can't use all your money in buying firewood, when you say you want to cook a meal. So you buy all the firewood and finish. Where is the money to buy the tomato, to buy the onions, to buy the rice? You use all your money in building Agenda 111. Where do you have the doctors, the nurses to run it? Very good. They talk about the amount involved in putting it up and the equipments to put in. Very laudable. I was very happy that they were coming with equipments so that it becomes what we call a turnkey project. So that the moment they finish, they commission it, they cut the ribbon, they give the keys to the medical director, they open and they start work. At least 4 million was earmarked for equipments, which included very sophisticated equipments that would really improve health delivery. They talk of CT scans, ultrasounds, X-ray machines, properly equipped laboratories, and then the rest. All were very laudable. But this is where the problem comes. You have little money. And instead of looking back to see what others did and didn't succeed, and you go to repeat the same problems. When they came to power in 2017, remember they criticized the NDC government for starting so many Agenda 111. Agenda 3, is it the Mama Senior High Schools?
Yes, the E-blocks.
The E-blocks.
Yes.
That they started a lot, and then they decided.
And some have been abandoned.
Some have been abandoned because of money constraints.
Yeah.
You knew of this, and you also decided to go and start 101 health facilities when you even didn't have dedicated funding for it.
So they didn't
when you
learn.
knew COVID had come to clear all our monies, when you knew you were introducing haircuts for people, how do you go and start 111 health facilities in a country without any funding source? Give contract monies, advance payments, that is mobilization fee, to contractors, knowing that you're not going to get money to complete.
So as we speak, do we have the numbers of how many of the Agenda 111 project or the hospitals that have buildings complete, how many have buildings with equipment, and how many did not even start or at various levels of completion?
In fact, there is none of them that has been completely built.
None of the
Even
hospitals?
Even though 3 have been commissioned by the former president, none has been completed, and they don't have equipment.
So how do they commission without completing?
During the campaign time, we all came out against that. You can't commission a facility, which is a turnkey project, without equipment.
Okay.
Even proper roads to the place are not there.
So
that of my constituency, I can say is 80%. I've been there.
In this case, the completion is the building with equipment.
The building with the equipment. Some say the building is not yet even complete.
Okay.
I don't think any of them has the building completely done, walled, the pavements and the walkways and everything done. No. You have the individual structures standing, but connectivity to them It's not yet there. And even those that you think they have been roofed, ceiling, electrical wiring, and then the rest
has not happened.
Has not been done. Air conditioning has not been done.
This is from WA East.
Yeah.
And is one of the Agenda 111 projects.
Yes.
You see, if you join us on Facebook right now, you see this building classified as, I don't even know whether I should call it a building. This work.
It's a structure.
It's a structure. Nice. Yeah. Classified as part of the Agenda 111 project. But you can see that it is nowhere near completion. No. We just have foundation, the building up onto the window or the lintel level. And then see the surrounding, the environment and all of that. And people, government paid contractors for these kind of works.
Yeah, in Ghana, it's allowed that mobilization fee of 10% should be given. It's lawful. But I think, though it is lawful, you must also comply by making sure that you invest the money into what they gave it to you to do. Luckily, we've gotten the Auditor General, who has done some serious work around and has come out with this report saying that there are 11 of them that they have cancelled them outright, and there are some they've asked them to, they've cancelled them and asked them to refund
the monies
because the work that they have done, typical of NPP and their contractors. You remember the Palugu Dam, 12 million spent, no job done. You remember the Savilugu Walwale road, almost 30 million spent on it without job done, and the road minister is on them. And you can see some of them have collected the mobilization fee, and they have not done the work. And that is where the law would fall on them.
Is the situation we are seeing right now, the $7.9 million call to refund to the state, is it as a result of lack of enforcement or a lack of desire on the part of the contractors to keep building the project? What happened?
No, they have asked them to continue, and they are not continuing.
So I'm talking about in the previous administration.
Yes.
What happened for us to get to this point?
I've cited some 2 examples for you already, and I've added this one. Definitely, they've given the money to people, and they are not supervising them. They are always consultant for every contract that government gives to construct. We have supervising consultant. The government appoints them. What they do is that they go there every now and then to see at what level they've gotten to see what they have spent. And if the person is spending the money and the level is not changing, it's up to the consultant to report to who? To the government, that this contractor is not up to.
Go back to your employer.
Go back, yes. And then they would call him either to speed up or they terminate the contract and let him pay a penalty.
So we don't even get to this amount.
You don't even get to this amount. But you sit down and allow contractors to take these monies and they keep it with them, whether they are trading with it, they are doing business with it. The work that they are supposed to do to provide health delivery facilities for doctors and nurses and lab people to work are not being constructed. Then I'll blame the consultant who was not doing his work, and I also blame the supervising minister who appointed the consultant, who sat on the fence and allowed this to perpetuate. It means that his appointment as a consultant has objectives, and we have to look at the objectives for which he was appointed. And if he's not complying, he must be sanctioned. I think if we are only going to go only on the contractor, we'll be missing it. Because you are appointed as a consultant to review it.
The contractor was reporting to somebody.
He reports to somebody, and somebody supervises him. And that person too is supervised by the minister the minister who is handling the construction of the Agenda 111. Yeah. And this is where the problem comes, like Brad Simon said. We didn't know who was really handling the Agenda 111. Was it at the Flagstaff House?
Or the Health Ministry.
Or the Health Ministry. He is saying it's not the Health Ministry. And I think if it was the Health Ministry, perhaps they would have advised that we shouldn't go building all the facilities at the same time. So to me, I would say kudos to the Auditor General for the good work being done. And I hope that this will continue in all sectors, not only under the NDC government, but in any government that will come, that the Auditor General should be given free hand to surcharge people. The most important thing is that we need to get the money back. And if we are getting the money back, should we even get it just like that?
Or with interest.
Or with interest. That would cause send a signal to other contractors that in Ghana, if you take a contract and you take a mobilization fee and you don't execute the work the way it's supposed to be done, you pay penalties. Because if I think that I can use that money to do other businesses and get more profit, and at the end you come back for your capital, your initial capital without profit, some people would play with our money. And that is exactly what we are seeing. And I hope that these people will refund the money, or else they should be dealt with properly.
But you also want that beyond the contractors, the consultants and whoever was supervising is also involved in some form of investigation, is also investigated, so that they tell us what part they played in contributing to this $7.9 million loss.
Yes, they should give us their report. If they had written to the government before, they should tell us this is the report we gave to the government, drawing the attention of government that the person is not executing the work to the standards that we want, or is not going at the pace that we want him to go. And if the contractor too has justification for it, they should let us know. I know there are a few that there were land litigations, land issues, and there were relocations of them, very few of them, but not all of them. But the number now is more than what they were talking about, places that they had land issues regarding relocations and then the rest. So to me, consultants must also give out their report. And I think the Auditor General should also look at the consultants' reports to see whether they should be exonerated or not. If they are exonerated and they've given a clear report indicating that the contractors were not up to a date with the construction, then I think they can be exonerated. Other than that,
but even if they are exonerated, we should take it up from there, because they presented their reports to somebody.
Yes.
Somebody saw that they complained or said this contractor is not coming to site. This contractor will not be able to complete the project. So take an action. Then it now comes onto the person who refused or was unable to take the action. That person should also be spoken to. If you like.
Sure, the consultant was appointed by somebody. So if he sends his report, we trace it. It's all part of the audit. We trace it up to the last point. If it goes to the minister said, okay, I also reported to cabinet, and cabinet said also reported to the president. They will know where it ends.
They were going high up there.
They were going high up there. Then we finally get to know exactly who was the cause. Was it that it was party boys they gave the job to, and they were doing what they wanted, they used the money for what they wanted, and they were not being chased to do the work? You know, sometimes we politicians, that's how they lump all of us, that we are not trustworthy. But I think now we have a very trustworthy government in place, that we are tracking everything, and we ensure that the Agenda 11 money that is with people, they are refunded, and then we can use it to complete those that the minister promised to complete. The minister promised that those that are 80% this year, they will ensure that they will complete them.
And about how many of them are there? 6?
He's promised that they are promising that they will do about 8 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, about 8 of them. Right.
Is it something the NDC government can do?
In fact, why can't we? We can do it because money has already been allocated. Assessment has been done to know how much is left to complete those ones. It was captured in the budget. You know, this finance minister has a rule that if a contract should not be given if you don't come for assurance from him for payment, and he will not also give out a new contract if it was not captured in the budget, unless he has excess money from anywhere. So I am quite sure the way the finance minister is holding the purse and distributing the resources prudently, I think we'll be able to execute the completion of those that we have promised to do this year. I'm quite sure it will be done, because I know a committee has been formed to work on it for those ones to be completed. Yeah.
You outlined several ambitious initiatives as well in the health sector. Key amongst them are the commencement of the construction of 6 new regional hospitals.
Yes.
In the 6 newly created regions.
Yeah.
And then the completion of 10 Agenda 111 projects.
And improvement of some facilities for maternal and child health care.
Great. Right. As well as the continuation of 4 key previously abandoned hospital projects.
Yeah.
So I'm reading here that we're looking at some 20 health projects.
Yeah.
And I've not added the completion of the ones you've spoken about. But 20 of them, will that not be also overly ambitious on the part of the NDC government to do?
The Agenda 111 that they are going to complete were captured in the budget for this year, and those ones are going to be done this year. The other ones are in progress. They are not all going to be done. The regional hospitals are not going to be constructed within 1 year.
Okay.
So the budget will be coming from this year, next year, and maybe the following year.
So it will be spread across.
It will be spread across. That is to ensure that by the time we leave office, yes, we would have those ones done, because regions without regional hospitals is not good, and district without district hospitals equally are not good. But we have to weigh to see which one needs a speedy development, and that can meet our pairs, that our pairs can meet the needed resources to put them up. And that is why strategically they've chosen the regions without regional hospitals to get them regional hospitals, and few of the Agenda 111, and to ensure that we improve on the maternal and child health facilities in Ghana. We don't have any good national facility like this that you can say, this pediatric hospital, if I go, that is the end of my problems.
They have the expertise, the people, the equipment.
Yes, we have the doctors, and then the rest, and then the radiologists and all the specialists needed, psychologists, to set up such facilities. Let's put up one. He's saying that we'll restructure, we'll renovate some of the facilities, redevelop some of the facilities we have to make them international, to make them have a standard that internationally is respected, so that we can provide such services instead of flying people out every time when they need certain services in the country. And I think that is something that is laudable to do. So I think the government is cutting its coat according to his size, is spending according to what he gets, and he's making sure that he puts the money at the most important places that would propel rapid development and accelerate that. Its effect would be outlining them or executing them will have a ripple effect on other sectors of the economy. It's just not going to build facilities for nothing. It's to build facilities that can really be operational. It's not a matter of putting up facilities, but putting them to be operational. That is very important.
One of the concerns you raised with the idea of the previous government, or the implementation strategy of the previous government, was that we don't have the people for the various district hospitals. You listed a few of them: pediatrician, radiologists, lab technicians, amongst others. For what the NDC wants to do, the 10 Agenda 111 project completing, will we have the people to man these projects in the various districts?
Yes, with the 10 Agenda 111, it is economically wise to complete them because they are 80%.
Okay.
They have been roofed. Some of them have ceilings. Some of them are left with wires, just wires to complete them. The rest that are like the structure you saw, without any roof and anything, that can even wait for a year, 2, 3, 4.
So that can hold on for a while.
Can hold on.
But for the ones that are 80%,
the ones that have already have elevation with roofing, and then the rest left with them to fix air conditions, put equipment, finish the wiring, and let them work. If you don't start with using them, the roofing and then the rest, the wiring would start decomposing. People will start stealing them, and that will go to waste. So I think it is economically wise to complete those ones, and even work to get the people to put them. As to whether we'll get enough doctors for all the 10 the way we want, perhaps gradually within 2, 3, 4, 5 years we could get doctors to fill all of them.
So that's where my question was arriving at, the personnel to man these projects. But it's good you say that it's not happening at the same time. It's not happening at the same time.
You know, in Ghana we have a serious challenge with doctors. The country's population, we are required to have 32,000 doctors. But as I speak to you, if you go to the Medical and Dental Council, those certified and registered to practice are a little over 12,000. So we have 1/3 of the medical workforce in the country. There are district hospitals without the requisite number of doctors that we have. But we are all fighting for district hospitals. I always say, and I would emphasize, we need functional district hospitals, not district hospital structures. Functional means it must have the building, have the equipment that are needed inside, and have the professionals who can man and run those equipment to deliver health.
So if we don't have them, are we going to train them, or we are going to import?
So if you don't have them, concentrate in training. That is what this government is doing. This government is going to increase the number of training facilities, have more teaching hospitals, rich hospitals in the pipeline. The Bolgatanga Regional Hospital is in the pipeline. Ho and other places are in the pipeline. Why is in the pipeline? To ensure that we have more teaching hospitals to train out more doctors, so that at least in the next 6-7 years' time, we'll have enough doctors in the country. Even the College of Surgeons and Physicians is also upping their game by including training centers outside the usual ones they have, involving doctors in other regions outside Kumasi, Accra, Cape Coast, and the rest, so that they can also train specialists to augment the number of specialists that we have. That is where the government is really concentrating, alongside the health facilities that they are working to complete and to build for the other regions who don't have regional hospitals. So I think that you must handle this development in a very tactical way, so that you don't invest money into something that would go and stay, that will go and be standing without people working in it. And I've said it somewhere that building cheap compounds and health centers is the way to go now. Whilst we are looking for money to build the district hospitals and the human resource to run them. Why? Because we know in health, 70% of our challenges are primary healthcare issues. And primary healthcare issues are solved at the level of the cheap compound and the health centers. Before they move to the district hospitals. If we're able to get every district the needed number of cheap compounds, it means access to health is at their doorsteps. They can solve most of the basic things there: public education, health education, vaccination, screening, and then the rest can be done at those levels. And you solve 70% of your health problems at those levels. Then from there you move. Luckily for us now in Ghana, we have enough nurses, public health nurses, and what we call PAs, physician assistants, that can man these facilities. But they are lacking in other communities. So government's intention to build 2 cheap compounds in every district every year means that by 3 years' time, we would have covered a lot of the needs of the primary health care. And those nurses and public health nurses who are sitting at home with a job will be pulled in to manage the primary health care and reduce our budget in treating acute diseases and chronic diseases at the level of the Mahama care. So that is a strategy that I think people must appreciate and understand, that in investing in the primary healthcare side by building cheap compounds and health centers is the best way to go, because we reduce the cost of running the health ministry in the country and concentrate little on the tertiary and then the rest, because few people will get there.
You mentioned the nurses that we have at home, and I'm afraid it's a conversation that we'll have to get into. Thousands of them.
Yes.
Completed school years ago. And the painful part they tell us is that they have to every year renew their licenses.
Yes.
They are not working.
Yes.
They say that there are facilities available to employ them. There are people who need their services. Patients all over the country, but they are still home. What is happening to them? What is the plan of the NDC government to rope these thousands of nurses, of midwives, to get them employed? Is it a question of no money? Is it a question of clearance? What is happening? Why?
It's a combination of problems. I'm not the health minister, though.
Right.
But from what I understand,
I mean, you sit on the health committee,
yes,
so
it's a question of multiple factors. One, money can be a problem. We have almost 70-something thousand health workers who are not employed. That is not small.
Over 70,000.
Yes, that is not small. Currently, I think what the whole entire ministry has 130-something employees. And you have about more than half of them
at home,
sitting at home. It's the training. We have opened so many training institutions for the health sector. What the government is doing now is liaising with other countries to see whether they can absorb some of our health workers. I think a lot of countries are appealing to Ghana government to allow for them to come and take some of our nurses and then the rest. I think government has also given clearance to some of them who got appointment but were not paid. So they are going to pay them. And the specialist training schools are also increasing their numbers to train more specialist nurses. That would at least help improve the services they deliver at the various health facilities. Money can be a problem. We shouldn't run away from money. But also, you can't overly employ into facilities. The facilities we have, there are some of them, people go and they complain. The same nurses will tell you, you can't put so many nurses or so many health professionals in a facility that their number outweighs the number that you require to work there. And I can tell you on authority, that the number of nurses we have in our health facilities, I wouldn't say in some of them, I can even say they are overly staffed.
So there are some nurses who go to work and they don't have work to do.
I can tell you by doing a comparison of work that is being done in one hospital compared to the number of staff they got there, and work being done in another compared to the number of staff they get there, and you realize that some hospitals with less staff are doing more work than others. And you go to hospitals sometimes, I'll tell you, and yes, you have the nurses, but you can't say you must employ all of them because you don't have the space.
So create the space for them.
That is why we have to build. And you see the important thing that Muhammad did and lost the 2016 election. He said, we would stop your allowance. Use the money to build health facilities. When you graduate, we'll pay you. Those under training all voted against His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So we are paying people in school, training them in school. They come out and they have no job. If you don't pay them in school, you want to use the money to put up a hospital for them to come and work?
That's also a problem.
That's a problem. It's a problem we all have to sit down as a nation and fix. And stop playing politics with it. Because if you come, you don't do it, you'll be booted out. That's it.
In your submission, you mentioned that one of the reasons why is the number of training centers or training facilities for these nurses. So what will be the policy direction for that? Is it to reduce the number or increase the training duration or the training hours, more specific forms of training? What's the plan?
What would Ghanaians accept? Do you want a nurse to come out and sit at home for 3 years before he gets job to do? Or you want to train nurses that would meet our requirement and a few of them to export it? I wouldn't like to answer your question direct. Ghanaians should decide. We should sit down with stakeholders, with parents, everybody. Let's take a decision. Because we have 70-something thousand people at home sitting without job. Because perhaps there's no money, to pay all of them to be at post, and there's no place to put all of them to be working.
Even if there's money.
What proposal we can make is, can government allow them to go fully private, even their national service? If the private facilities want to take them, let them take them. Let them go there and work.
But do the private facilities, do they have the conducive environment to an enabling environment to rope them in so that they take them off your necks?
I think some would have.
Okay.
I think some would have. I think for instance, my facility, we've taken people who have not been employed by government and they are working and they are comfortable. The government should make it that it's not compulsory that government must employ you. If you get any health facility, and even motivate the private health facilities to take them.
That's what I'm talking about.
Motivate them to take them. That, if you're able to take 10 staff into your place, perhaps you have some motivation out of it. That will reduce the unemployment. How many private hospitals do we have in Ghana? There are a lot.
Yes.
And if you put that challenge, I think it is something
it will reduce the numbers.
It's apparent to me that if we are able to take 10 of our staff from those who are unemployed, you get some motivation from it, so maybe some relief of something or something like that. I think that we would end up taking more than 20,000 of them out of the unemployed number that we have. Also, government should liaise with the international other countries who actually need nurses to take them along.
We export them.
We export them, at least get some little foreign exchange, and they also send them remittances to their families who have spent a lot of money in paying for their school fees and the rest for them to graduate, and now they are sitting at home without working. Because to me, it's really uncomfortable to sit at home for more than a year after a nurse or a doctor.
People have been home for 9 years, 10 years.
Yes.
And then these are skills. So if you don't put them to work, you lose them.
You see, the educational structure in this country, we must train people looking at the way we are moving in the country. Most people, you go to the communities, when they want to take a course immediately after senior high school, nursing, teaching. Courses that MBA, business management, and all those things. Technical schools, technical training institutions. I think the whole nation, we must shift our educational system a little bit to the technical aspect. I tell you, it is difficult to get somebody to wire your house correctly. You have to queue.
The expertise are not there
to get the person. It's difficult to get somebody to tile your house, and after 2 years, the tiles would not start removing. It's difficult.
I know that.
It's difficult to get somebody to do a good POP for you that after 1 year it hasn't cracked. All this required proper training. Let our technical institutions be more than our bureaucratic training universities. So many people doing MBAs, doing this to manage who? When the Makala women are sitting there, they've not gone to any MBO, but they are managing very well. I think that there must be a real shift in our tertiary training institutions into something else, because everybody finds it very comfortable to go and do nursing or teaching because they think that immediately you come out, you must get a job.
The situation
now you
is
come
different.
out, you don't get a job. And I tell you, an air conditioning repairer, I fight to get one every 3 months to service all the air conditions in my facility. I struggle to get one. And every single air condition they service, you know how much they take? 150 Ghana cedis. They come in 1 week and service all the air conditions in my facility and take all that money. 1 week, 60-something air conditions, service all and take all that money in 1 week and go. Tell me how many teachers or nurses can get that money in a week. But people don't want to go for those courses. We must
maybe sometimes it's a matter of interest.
Let me say, selection. We must teach our children. We must let our students understand that there are certain professions now that you need to sift into. I'm not saying that we shouldn't train nurses. We have to continuously train nurses, train lab technicians, train everybody. But when the number exceeds and the government cannot take them, then let's shift the focus of the money in training in putting up the facilities. So that when you are sitting at home, when you graduate, you get a place to work.
Okay. Doc, let me ask you some quick fire questions. What's now the situation of the unpaid nurses? Have all of them been paid?
For that one, I don't have it on record.
Okay.
I know the minister said that they had gotten clearance for all of them.
Okay.
So I'm sure once he said it, it is authentic. So
you know when the payment will come?
Definitely, if he said they have gotten clearance for them, it means that they will be paid even they'll be even given their back pay. Okay. So definitely they are being paid.
There's a point you raised about the number of training schools for the nurses. Is it too much?
I will not say it's too much. Perhaps the numbers, because we have them. I'm saying we have them without employment. How many journalists do we have in the country without employment?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Why? Simply because you don't have media houses
to take them.
Now we've trained so many nurses and other health professionals who we don't have the facilities to take them. What do? We break and put up the facilities and continue.
So we break the training?
I'm not saying it. I'm asking. We break, put up the facilities and take them, or we should continue training them. Because I know this year, some will be graduating. I don't think it's less than 10,000.
And they'll add to the over 70 number.
Some will retire. Some, unfortunately, may resign.
So what do you think? Do we break the training and put out the facilities?
No, we can't break. We only may have to reduce the numbers.
The numbers of the entrance?
The entrance. Because we can't close the training institutions.
Okay.
We need them. We can also turn the training institutions to train the specialized nurses. Instead of training only generalized nurses, they concentrate more and now training specialized nurses, so that those who are already in the system who are working, they go to do their top up to become specialized nurses. Whilst we take a few to train to be general nurses, so that every now and then we'll have people coming out as general nurses and people coming out as specialized nurses.
If we are reducing the entrance, are we not, to a certain extent, curtailing some dreams of people? Are we not artificially creating the situation?
We have to do a projection of our needs assessment of the human resource in the country and know what to take at what time. And that is feasible. We do our projections. The Ghana Health Service has those projections. Let's do our projections and see how many hospitals can we build, how many nurses do we need in 5 years' time, how many radiologists do we need in 5 years' time. We can do our five-year working plan and know how many people to train and now how many schools we have. Then we distribute the intake to the schools.
So it means we raise the standard of qualification.
That is it. Either we raise the standard or we take a number that we think is needed for the next 5 years so that we don't overproduce and at the end they'll sit at home, lose their skills. And when you now give them appointment letters and they come, they have to do serious orientation.
So what then will happen to those who would not be able to make it because of the limited entrance?
No, for training in health facilities or any university, we have limits. They can never take everybody. How many of our SSS students get to enter university? Not because they have poor marks, but because there's no space. Some of them have to go to private. We can't absorb everybody who wants to do nursing in this country. We can't even absorb everybody who wants to do medicine. Medicine is equally the same because of the space, because of the lecturers to lecture them, because of the space to teach them. You can't absorb everybody who wants to do medicine.
Doc, what's the situation of... finish your point.
Yeah, so we can't say that we are going to limit the intake. Intake must be limited at any point. In every institution, intakes are limited. It's not only in medicine, it's not only in nursing.
It can be free flow for all.
It can be free flow for all. It can never be.
Physician assistants, what is happening to them? I know a few of them, they've left school, they are now into private practice. Some are not practicing at all. They are looking for postings.
Physician assistants, they are a very vital group of people in the health delivery system.
We know that, yes.
Mainly, they were trained to take the place where we don't have doctors, especially in the health centers and to assist in the district hospitals, to run the primary healthcare system over there. And they are doing very well. They are not specialist doctors, but I tell you, I've been to certain health facilities and I see the work they do there, and it's commendable. Whatever may be happening to them now, whether they are employing them or not, I think they had a problem with designation, name, and other things with the Medical and Dental Council, but that has been resolved, and then the rest. So I've not heard of any physician assistant who is unemployed.
Oh, Dr. Naba, people will not be happy with you.
Oh, no. I want to be honest with myself. If it is there, I'm not saying it is not there. I say I've not heard of any who has not been employed. If there is any, perhaps we would have to perhaps see whether is it that there's no space for them or not. I want to be honest. I don't want to make any submission without having concrete evidence.
Because as I speak to you,
yes,
I know a number of them, and the data we're seeing here is nearly 4,000. They have completed training, passed licensure examination, ready for posting.
Yeah,
but it's not happening for them.
Right. So that one, I leave that one to the ministries, and I think if there are no facilities, like I said.
But there are a lot of facilities in some facilities in the rural part of the country,
right, that
need people to man them. You go to some rural health centers, you would see nurses, midwives who are manning there. Yeah. When there are physician assistants at home, pulls them to the place. Is it a matter of, again, clearance money?
I'm not sure it's about clearance, and I don't want to conjecture the reason why. So when I go out, I'll try to find out exactly why. There are many physician assistants who are not being employed, and to see whether they have facilities for them, to see whether they can get clearance for them. And I hope that
we'll be happy if you do that, because
right, yes, you brought it to our notice. So as a member of parliament concerned about my community getting a physician assistant to help them, I'll take it up to
and then you're on the health committee. That is also
in the health committee. Yes, we'll take it up to see. Right.
Doc, thank you. But don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. But we'll leave the health conversation.
Yes.
And then maybe we'll find a way and get back to the health conversation later in subsequent in subsequent occasions. But we're still on air with Dr. Thomas Anaba, the Member of Parliament for Garu and a Member of Parliament's Health Committee here on 3FM on Sunrise 92.7. Stay with us. We're back with some more conversations with Dr. Anaba.